Hello everyone, here I am again with another video. Buenos días mi gente, ya regresé nuevamente para otro video y aquí estamos. Hoy voy a hacer una ilustración de diferentes ingredientes que usé para la comida. Today I am doing some sketches, little illustrations of food that I made. So I am first starting off with drawing all the ingredients with ink, documented ink, and my dipping pen. Anyways, so this video is just me illustrating ingredients that I used for the food that I made, which was tacos de, what are these things called? Shrimp, tacos de camarón, shrimp tacos. And here's a little shrimpy that I sketched, and then beside it is the limon. So starting off, I'm using my dipping pen with documented ink to sketch this whole thing out, and I'm freehanding this. This is something that I just wanted to do because I wanted to do a semi-quick sketch. It wasn't really quick because it did take me quite a while, but I just didn't want to draw it out first and then go over it with ink. I just wanted to go straight in with ink and just kind of play around with the look of that. So I started off with inking, and then afterwards I go over it with some gouache, and I didn't use a gouache like you would normally use. I used it, added more water than paint to it so that it could be transparent, and I would just be working with layers similar to what I do with watercolors. So that's how I used the gouache. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, illustrating food and ingredients. There was a few books that I seen at what is it called, Kinokuniya. There's a few illustrators, Japanese illustrators, that I saw their book was there, and I looked through it, and I was just really mesmerized by the illustrations, and I thought they were very beautiful. They did use gouache, and they used it very differently than how I'm using it here, which they used it more opaque than transparent. And then a few other artists did use watercolor, and they used a lot of layers in their illustrations. But for me, I wanted to do something layers here, since it was just going to be a sketch, and this is sort of like me experimenting and trying it out for the first time, figuring out how I want to illustrate food and ingredients. And this is definitely something that I want to turn into like a little book, or maybe like a series on Instagram or TikTok. I'm not sure yet where I want to put this out, but I definitely do want to continue this and make it a little bit more polished. Definitely sketch out the illustration with pencil, and then go over it with ink, and then use watercolor. Even though I use gouache with this, I think I like the look of the transparency with watercolor more than I do with gouache. And that's kind of how I plan to go about it next time. But this was a sketch, so I was okay with it not being perfect. For this sketch, I did take my own reference pictures, and some of the veggies that are here are kind of ugly. They're not that ugly, but they are ugly. They're a little messed up. They're a little weirdly shaped, you know? So the jalapeno, that was sort of like wrinkly, and the color was like a very bright green in some areas and very dark in other areas. And then also the lemon was kind of squished a little bit, and it was also kind of wrinkly because it has been in the fridge for quite some time. And then this onion is like not a perfectly round onion, but that's okay. I really liked the look of the avocado towards the end because I like the colors that I used for that one. But yeah, I wanted it to be very authentic to like the ingredients I was actually using and that were in my refrigerator. So I just took my own reference pictures and I sketched them out, put them together onto this page. This shrimpy taco is one of those foods that we just made up here in our household. One day my mom noticed we had shrimp and a bunch of other ingredients, and she kind of whipped this up together. And yeah, this is not something that we normally make, but when we do have the ingredients and leftover like stuff, we kind of just throw it together and we make something out of it. And this is my version of those shrimpy tacos. Aquí es donde empiezo a pintar el camarón y empiezo con una capa muy transparente y luego ya después regreso y le agrego un poquito más de pintura y luego como aquí ven que se acumuló la agua y la pintura y se estaba mezclando mucho, entonces agarré mi toallita y luego ya lo aplasté un poquito así para que quitarle la agua que se acumuló y luego ya después voy con otro color y luego le agrego al cilantro y luego ya después regreso otra vez con el camarón. Y luego así nomás estoy trabajando, dibujando una cosa, pintando otra cosa y luego regresando, así para que no esté esperando tanto que se seque mientras estoy haciendo las capas en cada ilustración. As I had mentioned in the beginning, this is something that I had been wanting to do for quite some time, illustrating food. The last time that I was thinking about doing this was when my mom and my aunt, they were both making some tamales and they were making their famous mole. Well, my mom was making her famous mole. And I was going to illustrate like the tamales and the ingredients and everything and sort of dedicating it to like as like a family recipe type of thing, you know. But I had forgotten that I didn't ask permission from my mom. So I didn't end up creating that video or like making that illustration just because I didn't get permission. And the mole that my mother makes, let me tell y'all, people line up. People wait the entire year to get her phone call and be like, hey, I made some mole. Would you like to come over and eat? But yeah, people wait the entire year just for her phone call or for like people to get invited to our house so that they can eat mole, and especially the tamales that she makes because they're with like her famous mole. But yeah, I didn't get permission, so I kind of just held off on that video. And this weekend she's gonna be making some mole and some tamales, but she's sort of not really using all the ingredients that she normally uses, so I don't know, maybe she might let me record her, take some reference photos, and Hopefully she'll let me illustrate it and post it here on YouTube, or maybe on Instagram or TikTok. I'm not sure. But yeah, first I have to ask her, because it's her secret recipe. Even though I may not get the original recipe illustrated, I'm totally cool with that, because I know that my mom and my family is very secretive about their recipe, as it has come from a long line of tradition, and a lot of care and thought has been put into this recipe. So in between drying time, that is when I was mixing in my colors and creating a pre-mixed color palette. That way all the little sketches could look cohesive while I was painting them. And then another thing that I did was go back and forth in between the little sketches. That way I didn't have to just sit there and wait for one of them to dry, and I could just work on 3 different little sketches and painting them all at the same time, adding colors in between and things like that. And that really helped a lot with like the cohesiveness of the illustration, and I really enjoyed the colors that I came up with and the way that they all look together in this one page. And we finally made it to the end of the video. So thank you all for watching. If you guys are still here, I really appreciate you guys watching through the entire video. And if you like this video, you can go ahead and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Mainly because I have yet to know when I will be uploading the next video. I'm still not sure if I want to upload my upcoming videos on Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. So we will see next week. But I'll keep you guys updated. You guys can follow me on my social media accounts. That way you guys know when I'll be uploading. But also just subscribe, because then you guys will get the notification on there as well. And yeah, because something that I noticed is that most people are watching my videos on Thursdays. Yeah, Thursdays I get the most views. So I'm thinking Thursdays are going to be when I upload, or maybe Wednesday. Muchas gracias por mirar este video hasta el final, y si gusten, ahí está el botón para que se puedan suscribir si te gustó este video. Y te voy a contar, I will see you when I see you.